Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is a massively important question that many people are asking themselves. I've seen lots of memes about it, and the fact that will the release of Sparking Zero actually kill Xenoverse 2 in its entirety? The answer to this question is not as simple as it may seem. I'm gonna show you guys history, what happened with very similar games of the same franchise, and obviously we are comparing only Xenoverse 2 with Sparking Zero because they are both 3D arena fighting games, fighters, it's in a league of its own, it's 2D, it's more, all of its characters are very balanced for competitive play, so we're not gonna talk about that one because common sense, the first game we're gonna compare with when you think about Sparking Zero is going to be Xenoverse 2, simple as that. So without any further ado guys, very important is the following graphic, and this one is very important and relevant to see what's happening with this game right now. This is obviously from Steam. Obviously there's going to be more people playing on PlayStation and Xbox, but this is just to give you guys an example how the trends are going to work. Now remember that there were 10 million copies sold for Xenoverse 2 and 10 million copies for Fighters and 8 million copies for Kakarot. So, you know, there are 10 million people who are playing the game. Obviously, many of them are not playing it anymore because either they sold the game or they're not playing it anymore or they stopped playing the game altogether or whatever, right? So, this is the part here that is going to be interesting. Let's look at a comparison of what happened with two very similar games in terms of its franchise. We're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel and Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And this is really important, guys, because you're going to see how low the gameplay count is going to decrease for Xenoverse 2 approximately, and it's going to be quite significant. Now it's not going to right off kill the game, but it is going to have a significant downslide in the game, quite a lot. Now right now there's 1,500 people playing the game as of right now on Steam. Like I said before, as it right now, obviously, like in the game, 24-hour peaks, 1,600 people, as you can see here. Now, let's look at the following. If we look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, when the game got released in, this was basically in January 2022, the game got released, the game got a big, massive, like the concurrent players exploded, as you can imagine, right? And obviously, over time, it got like leveled out, as any game gets leveled out. But then something happened to Duel Links. Duel Links, if we go back in time, in January 2022, we see that effectively the game has lost a lot of players. Looking the months before the release of the this one over here, okay, we see that there were like what, 17,000, 13,000, 11, a peak of 21,000 players simultaneously in September 2021. But then guess what, as it was getting close to the release of the new game, it just dropped sharply to 5,000 people, and from there it did not recover at all. As you can see here, it went to 5,000, it went to 9,000 because it was like a special event, and then it kept going down and down and down and down to 4,000, and now it's standing at a very meager 3,000 right now, as you can see here. So it went really low from like literally 20,000 to 2,000, so that's literally 10 times approximately. We're obviously talking about approximations, but over the span of a year, the game lost about 10 times of its player base after the release of the new game, which is this one here, Master Duelist, which happened in here. So for Xenoverse, based on the same graphic, we could estimate that after the release of the game of obviously Sparking Zero, once this game gets released, we will see a massive drop of players, maybe from 1,500 to potentially in the first couple of months to about 500 players. Alright, so that's obviously not 10 times, but still quite a lot. And then leading up, after approximately 1 year, it could go down as low as 150 concurrent players. That's 10 times the current level of players. And it makes sense because a lot of people playing Xenoverse 2 right now are super hyped about Sparking Zero. and you can tell, I mean, literally everyone is just trending about this game. Like, people are making videos about this game everywhere. It's a very popular franchise, and most importantly, guys, the game looks super amazing. I mean, I'm just showing guys some gameplay, of random gameplay, and it's quite obvious because there's two very important things. The graphics are just over the top. The graphics are incredible. I mean, they're just amazing. Gameplay is much more smooth, animations are amazing, it's next generation, and the game can be played on a PC. You don't need to have a crazy PC to play it. The specs for the Sparking Zero, I believe they're like, you just need a GTX graphics card if I'm not mistaken. You don't even need an RTX, so it's not a problem. And yeah, the game may not be available from the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, but people are gonna buy it on PC or they're gonna buy a PS5, simple as that. And people who still have a PS4 only and cannot afford a PC and cannot afford a PS5, they will save money to buy this game, because if they're true fans of the game, they will save money. They will try everything possible to get the console to play the game, because this is going to be a console seller, 100% guaranteed. So this is going to be the case, guys. So in the summary, Xenoverse 2 is going to suffer a massive drop in player base, a massive drop, and we're looking at about 10 times the player base over the course of about a year. Same thing happened to this one. I mean, you can tell, like I said before, January 2022, it went from 13,000 and now it's looking at a meager 3,000, right? Which is crazy. Again, it's not 10 times, but approximately, obviously, we could say, I don't know, like 6-7 times, whatever. But anyway, it's going to drop significantly. So yeah, there's going to be people playing this game, of course, even after a year, but it's going to be quite low. It's going to be very, very small, and Bandai Namco is going to kind of shift gears, and the DLCs that they're releasing for Xenoverse 2 are going to be less and less and less, because they're going to be focusing on their flagship game, which everyone is going to buy, and they know that people are going to go crazy, because when this game gets released, even on Steam, when Sparking Zero gets released on Steam, it's going to have potentially a huge amount of players. We're talking about maybe 100,000 simultaneous players easily, okay, easily, because it's a very popular franchise, and on consoles even more. If you have a PS5 and you remotely like Dragon Ball or anime games, you're gonna buy it. And if you're not gonna buy it the first month because of the peer pressure, the FOMO, you're gonna buy it anyway, because that's how it works. Like, this game is gonna be hyped up so much because it's a hype game. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's super exciting, it's super fun. Everyone playing it at the Anime Expo has said this is a really fun game to play. Just look at all of these gameplay snippets. I mean, it just looks awesome, man. It just looks crazy. There's literally like, there's not even one thing about this game that is really bad. Obviously, there are things that could be improved. Obviously, there's always things that could be improved. Things to do with, of course, like maybe gameplay mechanics, or maybe a bit better improvement in animations, other stuff, or like other techniques. But in general, this is going to be a game which is going to be really, really good, guys. It's going to be massively played. Also, quite interesting here, looks like Sparking Zero will have 50 achievements, and this has been obviously released now, so that is really, 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 really cool. Beat a high ranking player as Hercules, only achievable in online versus battle. That's gonna be crazy, man. Yeah, that's really cool. But yeah. And of course, the DLCs of this game are just gonna be crazy, guys. I mean, we're gonna get DLCs for this game. It's gonna be from everything, from the movies, from GT, from Super, from Fusions, from everything, guys, from like cross plays. I don't know, like, is gonna be insane. Like, this game is gonna get so much support straight away out the gate day one, because they know that people are super hyped about this game, and that's why the developers know. They know this stuff, guys. Pretty obvious. So to answer your question, guys, yes, Xenoverse 2 will almost be killed, almost, like by Sparking Zero, because we had history of similar games from the same franchise who had suffered the same fate. They were really good, of course, before the launch of the new one, but everyone is going to go to the shiny new thing. And it's quite sad that many people online are actually shitting on Sparking Zero right now, because they're saying that this game is this game is that, because they're afraid that their favorite game, which is Xenoverse 2, is going to be suffering, it's going to die. Guys, it's the natural state of things. Every single game, when a new version comes out, people will forget about the old game because they want to play a new one. It's common sense. Just get on the train, buy a new game, you're not gonna go bankrupt, okay, simple as that. It's only gonna be $60 and enjoy the new game, as simple as that. I mean, common sense, right? But yeah, that's it for today's video. So to answer your question, yes, Sparking Zero will pretty much almost kill Xenoverse 2, as we've seen in history, and it's been proven time and time again when a sequel, not a sequel, but like a similar game gets released of the same franchise. And people are going to still be playing the game, but it's going to be a very small number of players, a very small number, and it's going to diminish year by year. So maybe a year or two after the release of Sparking Zero, and also when the game is going to be on sale, because when the game is on sale, especially after like 3-4 months or 5 months, there's like 40%, 30% discounts, whatnot. There, people are going to buy it massively, and Steam has lots of sales, the PlayStation Store has lots of sales here and there. So when this game is going to have like spring sales and stuff like that, people are going to buy the shit out of this game because it's going to be cheaper. And when this game is going to be like $40, $30 on sale, is gonna sell like crazy. So that's gonna affect even more so Xenoverse 2, and Xenoverse 2 will eventually pretty much almost die, and it's gonna be bare bone existent. And of course, it's going to be alive, everyone's going to be playing it, but it's going to be a very small population of just hardcore fans who just don't want to leave the game because they just love it so much and they have just invested too much time in it, and they keep playing the game on a regular daily or weekly basis. But in general, people are going to move away from the Xenoverse 2 because Sparking Zero is going to be the new elite game in 3D action arena games. It's pretty simple, pretty obvious. That's going to be the case. Even other anime games like Naruto or other 3D arena games are going to suffer from this because this game is just going to destroy them massively. So guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed the explanation. Of course, the reason why the game Xenoverse 2 will not fully die, but it's going to be close to dying, pretty much. It's going to be like on life support, and Bandai Namco knows this, but to be honest, they don't care because they know they're going to make so much money with Sparking Zero. It's just going to be ridiculous. People are going to buy DLCs everywhere because this game, guys, is crazy. Sparking Zero is honestly looking incredible. So yeah, that's it for today's video. As always, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, because we're going to talk about Sparking Zero more and forever on this channel until new one comes out, until the next one comes out. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. As always, see you later in the next ones.